going to do a simple mask. This one is going to have an opening in the bottom where we can insert a filter, and we can also take the nose wire out and put it back in for washing. And it's got longer straps. This one's for an adult, and they requested longer straps. And I'm also going to add a cute little bow as an embellishment on one side at an angle. And this is a real simple bow. It's just a thin strip of fabric, and I made it pretty long so I can angle it however I'd like on one side. It's going to go something like this, or like this. And then I just made a little strip of binding, and then I hand stitched it together on the back so that it's nice and secure, and it's going to show just like this, and it'll be fine in the wash. I've got my 4 long pieces for the straps, and what I've done is one end is going to be raw because this end is going to go inside a seam. The other end is tucked in, and so if we unfold it, it's folded down, and then the sides are folded in, and then it's folded in half. And so then we're just going to sew it all the way down and then close it at the end. And I'll do that to all 4 of them. So all my straps are finished. I'm going to set those aside. I've got my 4 mask pieces. We're going to take 2 of them, and if we have a pretty fabric, we're actually going to take this fabric and place it with the pretty sides facing out, like this. Because we're going to do a French seam from right here to here. So that means we're going to sew it with it like this, very, very, very close to the edge. And then we're going to turn it, and we're going to sew it again so that when it's inside out, this is kind of like my replacement of if we had a serger, we would just do it like this with the pretty sides together. And if you had a serger, you could serge it right here. And that would make sure that it would be protected and it would be fine in the wash. But since I don't have a serger, and a lot of people don't, a great other way is to just do a French seam. And that means that we're gonna encase this raw edge in another seam. And that's why my pattern looks a little bit big too. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how it looks. So this is actually not even as close as I would like to be, so I'm going to trim it. There. This is how close we would like to be. And now we're going to turn it inside out. And then press it. And now we're going to sew again, and we're going to encase that raw edge so that the inside of this is going to be nice and durable, and it's not going to have a bunch of strings. Now, so that we are able to leave the bottom open, and we also won't have a raw edge down here. This is the bottom, the straight edge is the bottom. The top is gonna be the part that comes up, because that part is gonna go up over your nose. So the bottom is gonna be more straight, like this. And we're gonna put the pretty side down so that our French seam right here is gonna be facing up. And lay it down. And then we're gonna fold it up just a little bit and iron that. So now this is half of the mask, and now I'm going to do that to the other two pieces. So now we have both pieces, and without the embellishment, this is just for fun, but without the embellishment, at this point all you do is just pin these two pieces together. With the little bow, I'm gonna go ahead and place it, actually it kind of needed to go into a seam. So I'm gonna actually place it about like this, but give me just a second. So if you are wanting to do the little bow, since we have a French seam, we can't really just stick it into the seam originally, but we can measure it out, and I want mine to come just across the nose, and since this is the nose, I want it to just come across the nose here at an angle. I think that'll be nice. And so I've got it measured out about where I want, and so I'm just gonna trim it right here along this edge. I'll just turn it around carefully and just trim it right here. And then I can insert that inside. And then I'll just do the seam over again in that spot. So now we have, when it's finished, it'll be on the side like this. So now we've got our two pieces. Make sure that we line the noses up, and we know the bottom is going to be the part that we folded. So that's the bottom, and the nose goes up like this. Now, we're going to mark a space. We've got our center right here on the seam. We want to come about 1.5 inches on this side and then about 1.5 inches on this side. Now I've just done it so many times that I don't need to measure anymore, but it is good to measure. And now we're gonna sew. This is gonna be where we start. We're gonna come all the way around and stop here where we made our other dot. But at the 4 corners, we're gonna insert the straps. And the way that I like to insert them is you find the end that is not the raw end. This is the nice end. You see, this is the raw end. Like we've got strings if we pull on it here. So we take the nice end and just fold it up like this. So that you've got a piece sticking out at the end, and then it's pretty easy to stick inside there as you're going. So that's how I'm going to do that around the corners. So after this point, this is the bow, and of course we're going to trim this up, but this is how it's going to look. You've got this part that you sewed together and this is folded up, and when we turn it inside out, that's going to fold up one more time and this raw edge will be gone. And of course we don't have a raw edge right here either on the inside or on this side. And this raw edge at the top is going to be encased in a top stitch, so it's going to be a very nice durable mask, and you're going to be able to put a filter inside. So anyway, let's go ahead and trim it up. And now this bottom is gonna look like it kind of wants to poke out like this, but we're gonna just fold it in, and see, that's gonna keep it from having any kind of a raw edge on the inside. And then we're gonna fold in this part too. And they're going to want to naturally kind of fold in together that way after that point. It's just easier if you do the middle first. And then we'll press that. Now, this part is always going to stay open. This is going to be where you can reach in, take the nose wire out when you want to wash it and put it back in. It's also going to be where you can insert a filter if you want to. So we are going to do a stitch from here to here, and then we're going to do one from here to here, just on these two parts so that they hold together, but they can open and close. Now we're not gonna top stitch this bottom part. We're just gonna top stitch from here to here, and then we're gonna come up to here, and then we need to make the little tube for the nose wire. So we're gonna go down, and since we have a bow, I'm just gonna move it out of the way. I'm not gonna stitch over it while I do that, but I'll just move it out of the way a little bit, and I'll probably stop, come back, and anyway, I'll show you how it looks on the back and the front when I'm finished. We're gonna leave a little opening too so that the nose wire can come in and out. On the front, this is how it looks. And let me show you the back because it's going to be a little easier. So we have the seam. The seam comes up, it comes over, and now on a regular one, we wouldn't have this little separation in the middle from the bow, but that's not a big deal. So it comes over, and now on this part we have the opening. This is where the nose wire can come in and out. So we have an opening right here, and then this seam starts here, and it comes over to here, and then it comes up, over, and then all the way down, and that's it. And then the bottom there's nothing left for that. And you can tie the straps. Oh, and let's show you how a nose wire goes in. So I have a little nose wire, which we would take out to wash, but when you're ready to put it back in, you just look at the mask, and there's gonna be one end that is not open. The seam is gonna have an angle like this, and then the other end is gonna be open. It would look like it would come up and over, but it's open right here. That's where it's going to go inside. So we're going to open it at the bottom. And then just thread it through there. And now we have the nose wire inside. And now it is totally complete, other than maybe just knotting the straps for the customer or for your friend, or your family member, or whoever you're making it for. All finished.